pixel, one of the many pixels they see on their computer screens, and they say like, "Oh, that's a planet," and it's habitable. You can live there if you wanted to. It hosts life, but they're telling you all these things. In the meantime, you have your mind in the clouds, and you don't think about reality for what it is. So they've done a really good job at kind of confusing people to think about stuff that's not relevant to the reality we live in right now. And I think that's partly the problem. Like, we have to deal with that cognitive dissonance when they come and talk to us. So it's pretty tough. Kimbo Beats. What's up, bro? Drop you a mic. Drop biblical mic. Yeah, before other people start coming in and piling up here and start screeching about how they think the Earth's a globe. It's a lot of fun, man. I get a kick out of it. I do, because you think about it, it's like people are trying to reconcile the fact that the idea of what they think they live on is this ball Earth. It's got water on it, but water's flat, yet, there's curvature from NASA images. So, oh, there's my co-host right there. I'm gonna drop him a co-host. There you go, AJ. Waiting on the world to change. Either that, or we're gonna expose every single body to the information that the Earth is not a globe. So
It's not. They got nothing at this point. Nothing.
yeah,
Yo, how is everyone?
all good, man.
Oh, good.
What's What's
Ready
up,
for
AJ? You went to the gym earlier, huh?
Yeah, I just got back. Yeah.
ready for tonight's shellacking. We prepared ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys a good show for sure. Hopefully, it's entertaining on the side of truth, because that's all we got at this point. There's nothing else to dig into, man. We know the truth. We're just seeing people spiral out of control whenever they hear the truth. And it's
Yeah.
mainly managing that, I think, is all we're doing at this point. Funny thing is, they think it's a debate, and I think that's where a lot of people are confused. They're like, "Well, it's a debate." No, it's not. Not a debate. If you get into a discussion with somebody who knows what they're talking about, definitely no debate. If you talk to maybe somebody who's ill-equipped to have this conversation, maybe, because they don't know how to have it. They don't know the positions. So it gets difficult for somebody to hold a position that they think is relevant. You know, like flight maps. Well, let's argue flight paths. Flight paths. What's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, I've got to get some time next time that Ham's in Discord. I've had it out with him twice before, but he just keeps coming back and regurgitating the same crap. He came in yesterday, but I was busy at the time. But he comes in and gets pretty aggressive, yeah. So next time I see him in there, I'm going to give him a good shellacking, and then if he comes back to rinse and repeat, he's going on mute.
Yeah, most of those guys are just content at this point. Just like Brenda. Brenda's content. Every time Brenda comes into the chat, like he's always content. So
Yep.
it's never the fact that we're gonna like get anywhere with Brenda, because in the last episode, Brenda was talking about Four Horizons, and I mean, wow, like who here even considers that? I mean, any sane, logical thinking person would just answer, "I only see the horizon. It's the one that we see, and it's apparent." So it's nothing more about that. Yeah, I think Gary's the other guy I really wanted to expose. Hopefully we see him tonight. He'll come on in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the meantime, if I could have everybody just repost this space, like out to any place that you can think of, all the places you go that are allowing you to post it, that way we can get some more traffic in here. They've been AJ, they've been hard at work scrubbing all the rest of the older streams that I have. So the the Globers get pretty upset and butthurt, and they try to attack my stream. So that what they're doing is, if you could click on my profile and scroll all the way down to my previous streams, they're either reporting them, they're getting upset because of it. You know, the what discussions we have, because they're losing every time when they come in here. So the only thing they can do is scrub it off the internet, because that's the only weapon they have is censorship. That's it. That's it.
So X is scrubbing them because of their complaints.
I would assume, because like, why else would they scrub them? Yeah, the Globers are getting destroyed, and episode 6 and below are scrubbed. Let's see.
Yeah, I can see.
7 and 8 don't even appear anymore, and then it goes from 9 to 10. And 9 to 10 are still showing up, but for how long? You know.
I thought X was all about free
12 is
speech.
Episode 12 is gone. Oh yeah, you
They're all
would
gone.
think. Yeah, not all of them, but
9's there, but 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Yeah,
they're all gone.
Yep, they're working hard, but thankfully we can have them for a little short time after we do them, so it doesn't really matter. The word's still getting out.
Yeah, I'm just really
and
surprised.
Plus
I'm gobsmacked that X has taken them down for no reason.
Well, check this out, man. Now that we have Helio in here with his bot, the bot's going to record it, so it doesn't matter if they scrub them from X, they're still recorded. So they don't win anything. It's recorded on YouTube, so, and it's on Helio's stream. So we're still recorded, we're still remembered that way.
It is crazy.
Yep. They got cancel culture on their side, and that's about the only thing they have. They don't have truth, so the only thing they can do is scrub all these episodes off of X. Which I kind of knew the game. I knew the score. I knew what it was. So coming into this, I already knew that it was going to be a part of like what they do. That's their tactics. They're trying to suppress truth, and that's it.
Surely they'd have to present some sort of reason or some sort of violation, for X to be able to scrub it.
Yeah, they do that.
Or they just make up something like they always do.
Yeah, they can do that, or I think mass report is another way. Other than that, there's no real other way they can do it, but there's bots to do all that mass reporting stuff. Either that, or they lock arms and together they try to mass report.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's got something to do with that. That Pippa Australis is a bit of a troll too. Have you seen him? Or Piper Australis?
Piper Australis? No, I haven't run in with Piper.
Yeah, so me and Matrix were in another room the other night, and he created a whole space. Aussie Flurfs is stupid or something. He's very anti-flat Earth, and he's. I followed him just to see what content he puts out there, and it's all anti-flat Earth content.
I've noticed something though, like the more they scrub these episodes, it just shows that we're actually doing something that none of the other spaces are doing, because they leave the other spaces alone that like esoteric flat Earth like to talk about all that other extra stuff, like what the sun is and moon maps and all kinds of stuff. Outer rings to the Earth. that kind of stuff, oh, they leave those alone. They want those to be on there recorded and stay, and for them to stay on the internet. But my recordings, they know that it just makes them look like they don't know what to say, so they take mine down. So if you're listening right now, yep, that's what they're doing here. But we have audio recordings that are saved on YouTube. So Helioskeptic has his stream, and we have content no matter what. So they think they're winning by doing that, and they're not.
Yeah. So anyone in the audience wants to listen in on YouTube, 24/7 Flat Earth on YouTube. You can also feel free to join our home server, 24/7 Flat Earth, and our other room in politics. And of course, don't forget to join us here when Alpha goes live.
Oh yeah, and our team as well. Our team, we have AJ, myself, Kimbo, Rayleigh Criterion, and Helioskeptic, which has got the 24/7 Flat Earth bot right now. It's the one that's in the listening panel. But if you also want to invite some people in here and challenge us, I think that would be great. If you think somebody that really believes the Earth's a globe and you want them to see if they can withstand any of the scrutiny we have for them, then invite them on in here. I think it'll be a good challenge for them to actually see if they know what they know about the Earth being a globe. It's important for us, right? Because, and I mentioned this before, they're scrubbing all of my videos or audio clips. Well, you could say videos because you can actually watch people that are in here. But they're scrubbing them from X. So they're taking them down. Cancel culture is doing that. And that's one of the reasons why I put the title Provocative AF, because that's what it is. It's provocative. And that's the only way they can win, is if they're silencing us. But see, that's the problem for them. They think they're doing a service by trying to silence us on X, but we have multiple ways of streaming. They're not able to do that, because you'd have to cross-platform a lot of places. And some of the places we go to, they will protect us, like Rumble. Rumble doesn't just take things down. It's got to be something super, super harmful. So in here, I mean, of course, they can appeal to some moderation or whatever, and then they'll take away some of the streams. So I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up because they are doing that, and I'm aware of it. Knew that going in, though. We got Dan Sand that's joined us. Welcome, Dan. Magna Catu. What's up, guys?
Yeah, maybe Alpha. It's not that your stuff is being taken down. Maybe they hired the same company that was responsible for the Apollo tapes.
Yeah. They must have taped over them. They have.
Yep, they're running out of space. They had to tape over them.
Yeah. The excuse for losing all that stuff. One of the most famous, well-documented, supposed to be greatest achievements of mankind, they just mishandled, and now it's just lost somewhere. I don't know how. How did that get lost?
Yeah, $25 billion budget, and they had to scrimp on the videotapes.
Yeah, for real. So other than that, I think we've locked them down on every argument that they can think of. Measuring the Earth, they don't have an argument. I don't know if you guys have encountered that. They don't have an argument for measurement of the Earth being a globe. The type of arguments that they bring up are always philosophical and looking to the sky or sky gazing. I always tell them that you guys are a bunch of sky gazers every time, and then you make it sound like we don't want to look at the sky, and they say, well, can you present us a model? Present us a model then. And it's simple for me, because I always maybe some people say that we don't have a model. I think that the model has already been made. The conceptual model is the celestial sphere. That's what we have. That's the model we use for astronomy and celestial navigation. And it works well. It does. Helps us pinpoint stars, angles to stars in the sky, the trajectory of the heavenly bodies of where they're going to be at, because they're really just not predictions, they're postdictions. They've been cataloged for thousands of years. So people know the cyclical nature of the heavens. So that's the model that we're using. It's a conceptual model, for sure. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think we've been saying that we don't have a model for such a long time, but we meant of the earth, not of the sky. We have a model of the sky, and we agree with every observation that can be noticed. That goes along well with the celestial sphere. Now, what do you guys think about that? Because I've been bringing it up, but it's not of the earth, and I think that's the distinction. We don't have a model of that, but of the sky, we do. I think most of the terms and the reason why people are a bit more reserved by saying that we don't have a model is because we have to. It's just like gravity. When somebody asks you, do you guys deny gravity? Well, that's a loaded question. You're asking us if we deny something that we can apparently know is true, right? But that's a word. You have to parse it out and ask them, what is gravity? And if they say, well, it's something that when you drop something, well, we all agree we see things falling with a, downward vector in the medium of air, but there's a reason behind it. It's not the one they're thinking of. Still, we can explain it, right? And so they're saying that we deny the very thing that we see, and we don't. That's not what we're denying. We're denying the fact that the theoretical explanation for gravity is what they say it is. So the cause for the effect. That's what we're denying, because they don't know that's true. It's just an idea that somebody had and proposed it. Well, what do you think about this, right? Gravity isn't something that's fundamentally understood. It's the opposite. It's very convoluted. No one really gets what it is, like the cause of it. I mean, the effect can be quantified to some degree, but even there, we're wrestling with a lot of different notions of, relative density. But that can be a bit more in the realm of how we can understand, physics and how we can apply that versus, us saying that it's, things that are being pushed down to the ground because of this bending and warping of the fabric of space-time. And not to mention, and I don't know, have you guys heard of their argument for gravity? How it sounds like, Newtonian and Einsteinian gravitational theories are interchangeable?
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Well, I've heard that. I was arguing that point with someone yesterday. They were presenting an experiment of the Cavendish for things going down. First problem is nothing goes down in the Cavendish, that's for sure. And
Right.
yeah, then the claim is that these two go hand in hand, that Einstein has somehow further explained Newton, sorry. But that's just not the case, yeah? And we can actually see the major differences. So in Newtonian mechanics, gravity is a force that acts at a distance, which states that every mass attracts every other mass with a force proportional to the product of their mass, whereas Einstein says that it's not a force at all, but the manifestation of the curvature of space-time. No, Newtonian mechanics states that time and space are independent. They're a fixed stage for physical events, whereas general relativity tells us that space and time are interconnected, dynamic, and influenced by the distribution of mass and energy, which leads to the concept of space-time, where distances and durations are not fixed, but relative. Newton says that space is not expanding. General relativity says space is expanding. Newton says that time is absolute and unaffected by gravity. And general relativity says time is relative and runs slower.
Yeah, it is affected. We got the idea of time dilation being some empirical method that's been tested by atomic clocks at different altitudes.
Yeah.
Now that was what flies in the face of their, Newtonian gravitational theories. So I mean, they're saying that there's laws, but at the same time, how can those be laws when they get negated on the macro sense? We're talking about the galactic level, right? So their paradigm is in trouble. Not to mention that you can actually throw a wrench in all of that by talking about dark matter, which it just flushes everything down the toilet. All of reality just becomes discombobulated. There's no coherence. And real these guys in what academic realms would say that as well. That's where the buck stops. They can't continue to go and talk about reality in a way that we understand with the physics and science intact, because that's where everything just starts getting all muddled and they don't really understand dark matter. So there's a lot to deal with their paradigm that just sounds like they thought they had an answer, but when it comes right down to it, that's where they don't have one. And no matter how hard these globers try, there's no prevailing through that. You can't prevail. At some point, you're going to stop and be like, well, we don't know what all this is. So their answers stop at some point. But they concede a little later on in their story. We just get to the point right away. We don't know what those things are. They're happy to say, well, we know what the sun is. Really? So.
Yeah, and this is the argument that Ham keeps bringing up. Tell me how seasons work on a flat Earth. Yeah, and then the claim is that the Earth's rotating and tilted and wobbling, and this is what causes seasons. This is all based off assumptions. It may be a correlation, but again, there's no way that globers can actually verify the information that they're putting forward. It's just an observation with a
How are you?
assumption. Oh, hello,
How are you?
Brenda. I'm good, Brenda.
What if you're wrong?
What if I'm wrong? Then I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. What if everything you've been saying so far is wrong?
You have to
Or
prove
maybe you
somebody
can-
wrong. You can't just say somebody's wrong. So
Yeah.
if I lay an accusation and say that you're wrong, the burden of proof is on me to prove that you're wrong. I can't just say it. I have to prove it. It's wonderful. You could point fingers all day long and say you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. At some point, you're going to exhaust that, and then now it's going to be time to tell people how the person is wrong. But if you don't have that ability, then you just sound like you're wasting everybody's time.
Did I say you were wrong?
No, but if you point out somebody and say that they're wrong, what if you're wrong? Well, then so be it. Let it be proven. But you can't do it, can you?
Did I say you were wrong?
No, you said, what
but
if I'm wrong?
It's implied. It's implied.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
implied.
It's not
You said, what
implied.
if I'm wrong? Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm happy to be
Yeah,
wrong. But somebody needs to
it's-
show me where I'm wrong. So if you would like to do that, Brenda, then we can go down that
it's a-
path and we can have the discussion, and maybe you can show where we're wrong.
AJ, it's just a question. It's not. I'm not saying that
And
you're
I just-
wrong.
No,
I'm not
I
saying
just
you're
answered
wrong.
the question. I just
I'm-
answered the question. I said,
I'm-
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm happy to
But-
be shown that I'm wrong. Otherwise, I
but-
wouldn't be open-minded, but I would need someone to show me where I am wrong. That's
But
the question.
So when I ask that question, I'm sort of asking you to consider the possibility that you
Brenda, this is the third room in 2 days that you've made this same exact speech.
Yeah.
What is your deal, dude? Shut the fuck up.
I'll tell you what my deal is. I'm asking flat earthers to consider the possibility they could get things wrong. Because
But
I
you
think
can't even answer how many genders
because-
there are.
because-
And you're still fucking about the same question. How
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
same
try
question for
harder.
you? How many genders are there?
Yeah, we're
so
not going to do that.
the
Not on
point
this channel. Sorry,
point-
Dan. We're not going to. Hold on, Brenda. Well, we can't do that on this channel. It's bad enough, Dan. I know it. Listen, Brenda might get under some people's skins, but it's bad enough that the Globers try hard to scrub all of these these talks that we've been having. So far, a lot of my episodes have been scrubbed because, thanks to the Globers, they've been using censorship. That's the only weapon they have right now.
that would
And if we entice them to do so, they will continue. Dan, they've won at that point. We can't give in. We can't give in to the way that they are. That's bad form. We have to prove that they're wrong every single time they come in here. That's how we win. These guys, they don't have an answer. That's how they lose.
Yeah, I try to definitely
we
keep
must-
try to keep the personal out of it, and just keep it
So-
intellectual. Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is,
Otherwise, we're just
to answer the question, right, I am asking people similar questions. And the reason is because the ability to consider the idea that you might be wrong is a mark of intelligence, right? It's how you
Yeah.
gain wisdom by considering the possibility that you could be mistaken about something. That's a mark of intelligence and maturity. And
You
I
know what,
don't think
Brenda?
we have that.
Listen, Brenda,
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you on that point, right? To be fair. But this is how we all became flat earthers in the first instance. Yeah. I mean, you don't think that when I first came out and started telling my friends, my family, that I've come to the conclusion that the earth is actually indeed flat, that I wasn't picked on, abused, people didn't stop hanging out in my circles, etc., because of
I'm
what I
sure.
believed. I mean, we cop a lot of this flack every day, and
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
and it is that we do question, try to think logically, investigate, and have an open mind. Now, this is where that's led me to flat Earth. Yeah, by asking those questions, by what would you say, having the ability to be wrong. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
Brenda, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
yeah.
There's no other way about it. Yeah, if someone's wrong, they're wrong.
Do you
However,
think that?
what I'm stating is that someone's going to have to show me where I'm wrong.
Well,
Yeah, not based off assumptions, not based off beliefs, not based off just what we see and coming to some type of assumption about what it could be. I want to see verifiable empirical evidence. And then, hey, I'm
yeah,
happy to tell you, Brenda, I was wrong about that point.
yeah. Okay. Do you think that it's coming up? It's next month. It's not far away. 24-hour sun. That's going to show that you were wrong. It's going to show everybody
what?
in this room right now that flat Earth is
Wrong
wrong.
about what? Yeah, but wrong about what? You haven't stated what
The
we're wrong
Earth
about.
being
You just
flat.
said we're wrong.
It can't be flat if you have a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
No, I think the
Why?
people that are listen. I think what you're getting. Listen, Brenda, just hear me out. I think what you're getting wrong about what flat earthers are saying about that topic are a different brand of flat earther, right? Those guys that really trust in this AE map or the Gleason's map or that sort of thing, those guys have a belief in a map projection. They think that that's what the Earth looks like overall, and really, what nobody realizes in this argument is that the globe earthers are fighting against their own model. This map projection is based on globe.
Yes.
It's not to deal with flat earth. Do you know that?
Yes, I know that the AE map is a projection from the globe.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is that's just a flattened out globe.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
But it's all
Did
you
you-
have.
you knew
It's
that.
all you have.
No, it's not all we
What
have.
else do you have?
No, we don't just have that. Listen,
What do you think there are? Do you have? Is Geo on Earth Awakenings? Last I heard, advocates 6 suns. Do you think there are 6 suns?
no.
Well,
I
he
don't
does.
advocate for 6
He does.
Well, that's great for him. Listen, and I don't know if you know this, but every room that you go to, you might have a different brand of person
Yes.
who's representing flat earth. And I'm not saying that we're all in the same boat, because that's it's either an all or nothing fallacy or it's a stereotype fallacy, one of the two. But you're trying to group a bunch of people to say that these guys are flat earthers and this is what they're saying. Now, on the one hand, you have Geo. On the other hand, you got, maybe some esoteric flat earthers here on X. Whatever the case is, either way, they're representing some idea, right? What we're saying 24/7, I have never heard of the people that hang out with us in the group. No, nobody's advocating that the AE map is the map of the Earth.
Do you
I don't
have
think
them?
so.
Do
I
you have
don't.
them?
Yeah, who have you? Can you point somebody out that's actually advocating? I'd like to know who they are. I'll talk to them because I
Advocate.
always
I
Yeah.
missed.
who
Advocate for what? Advocate for what?
the AE map.
Have you not seen the conferences that they have with wall-to-wall AE,
But
with
again,
wall-to-wall
but
AE maps?
Brenda, you've just ignored what Alpha said. Of course, there's going to be some flat earthers that claim maps. They make all types of claims, yeah. And most of the time, what they're doing is trying to give globers a replacement model, because everyone comes in looking for a replacement model. Now, in 24/7, you know that we don't give those replacement models. You know, hang on, let me speak. You know that we don't claim an AE map as a map of the Earth. Now, you should also know, if you're hanging around 24/7, that you do, which you do, that if Alpha or someone else from 24/7's mod crew hear people, such flat earthers, making such claims, they're also corrected by us. We mute flat earthers for the same type of claims that we mute globers for, yeah, and they're corrected the same way. So you're just trying to lump us all in the same basket, yeah. So my position is that the 24-hour sun, the only thing it's going to do is debunk those who are claiming that map projection when it's not something they can verify in the first instance. And like Alpha said, it's just a globe projection.
I understand, AJ, but when I look at Flat Earth and I look at the conferences, I look at all the merch, all of it is the AE map. All of it. It's everywhere.
Brenda, that's a stereotype fallacy. You're saying that everybody's on board with that.
I know that there's fringe, but the majority, the vast majority.
Yeah,
so
but isn't that a straw man, though? You build up a straw man so you can tear it down.
It's the majority position. I mean, you look everywhere. T-shirts.
So what, dude? Like, how much has how much has, and because we can't stop it. We can't hold everybody's hand, right? So we're not going to go to every flat earther, knock on the door, and be like, dude, what are you guys arguing about? We're not going to do that. So the best we can do is continue to put forward what the correct position is, and that's not to argue for a reification fallacy, which is the idea that you're backing up the understanding whether or not some people think that the Earth represented in the AE map is the correct way. Because I could ask, listen, I could ask them the same question that I asked Globers. How do you know that's what the Earth looks like overall? What do you think their answer is going to be, Brenda? When I ask the flat earther that,
I typically they cite that one guy who went up in a balloon in the early part of the 20th century, who looked out his window and said he saw the edge and it's slightly up.
What, Picard?
Yeah, Picard. They're going to cite him.
So what?
Yeah,
we're not even like he. Okay,
I want to close this off right now, Brenda, for you. Okay, you're talking about people being wrong, so I'm going to state that any flat earther that's claiming an AE map is reality is just simply wrong. And my evidence that they're simply wrong is the fact that they're using a globe projection, not a flat Earth map. Yeah, so they are just simply wrong, and that's not what we do around here.
Okay,
so that's the end of that for me.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you an example, Brenda. I'll give you an example that's really frustrating for me. All right, we get someone like yourself or a Glober or someone else come in the room and they say, well, show me a map. So the flat earther pulls up this globe projection and says, here's our map. Then the Glober starts pulling that map apart and saying, well, how come that's distorted? How come Australia's stretched? How come there's this ice ring around the outside? All these different things. So they're there, and we've got the Glober that's trying to debunk their own model or their own map globe projection. And then you've got a flat earther who's fighting for the globe projection. They've done a complete opposite. They've switched positions.
Yep.
We've got the Glober arguing. We've got the Glober arguing against the globe, and we've got the flat earther arguing for the globe. It's fucking ridiculous.
Arguing for it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, why is it so difficult to acknowledge the diversity and nuance of our group?
Yeah. So what is the correct map then, AJ?
All right. So now we're getting into good territory. So do you think that a map can cover what the Earth looks like overall, Brenda? That's a question to you. A map projection. Do you think a map projection does justice to cover what the Earth looks like in, and I'll give it to you this way, landmass orientation and landmass continent size for a one-for-one projection. Do you
It
think
can
that does
approximate.
justice?
It can't, because you can't project a
Agreed.
three-dimensional sphere onto a flat map without some distortion.
Agreed. Now that being understood between me and
But you don't think the Earth
we
is
know
a sphere.
that's not the point. It's not about it being a sphere. The
My
question
question was, what is your map?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the reason why it's unanswerable by you or anybody else. Cartography is not what you or anybody else thinks it is. Now, the globe Earth being represented on Google Earth, as you may look, you can look this information up. It's public, right? Look to see what map projection is underlying that specific model of Google Earth. You can do that right now if you'd like. I actually encourage you to do so. Anybody that's in here can do it. What map projection? Type that into Google. What map projection supports Google Earth? And you'll see the answer for yourself. I don't have to tell you. The answer will come from Google.
Yeah, so that wasn't my question. My question is, what is the correct map?
There isn't a gold standard map for reality. That's
There
the
is
answer.
if it's flat.
No,
No, hang on,
listen.
Brenda, because
Yeah.
you don't have a gold.
Go ahead, AJ.
You don't have a globe
If it's
standard.
if it's flat, you can give a one-to-one map that will
Brenda.
get everything perfect.
All right, Brenda, let me speak. You don't have a gold standard for the globe, yeah? Like you said, these projections are all distorted. We see all these different images of the globe that have different land sizes, different land masses. When we're actually navigating, we go down to a much smaller scale. We're not looking at these projections or the globe itself, because it's not correct, yeah? Now, at the end of the day, we know that society tells us the Earth's a globe. So everything that, or any work that's done, of course, it's going to be released as a globe, yeah? We don't have the ability of flat earthers to go out and map the entire Earth. We don't have the ability to verify those maps. So it's not something that we're going to speculate about and present, because then me and you are just going to be debating about my beliefs and not something that we can verify in reality. Now, not having a map, to me, is not an issue. All I need to know is that water's level and we measure the Earth as flat. From there, the shape, the size, the layout, etc., is not something we're going to be given by mainstream or cartographers, and it's not something that we can do and verify ourselves. And I'm not interested in arguing in the weeds about beliefs.
So you don't have a map, and you can't prove that water is flat.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
that
do
you're
that.
just trying right now as hard as you can to build up some type of straw man so that you can defeat. There's no winning this argument, because it's a moot point between both parties.
What's the straw
It's a
man?
moot point.
The straw
The
man.
straw man is you're asking for something that nobody has. We can't present something that nobody is able to present.
That's wrong.
Nobody.
We have the correct map, which is the globe.
Which is
the globe.
the correct. Which one? How many map projects? No,
WGS 84.
That's not the correct map of the Earth.
It absolutely is.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Citation. Put it in put it in the nest. Put it in the nest.
Why not? Why isn't it correct?
What you have to. Your claim has to be supported by empirical evidence. Now, what empirical evidence do you have? Well, good. Now support that in the nest. I want to see how that.
Surveying. It's based on geodetic surveying.
Yeah, put it in the nest, Brenda. Don't. You can say words, but when you put the citation, that we can all look to where you're getting your source. Your source information should be standing on its own merit, not by you. So
give me the refutation of.
We don't have the evidence. Show us what you're talking about, because right now it's just words that you're speaking. Unless you have a source, we can look at.
You have nothing. You have nothing. You have no map.
Neither do you. You don't have anything right now.
We do.
I would say that geodetic surveying measures horizontal linear angles
down like the camera, then they will just split over.
Right.
Yeah, to me, it's funny how it's just like these are individual incidences, and these incidences are a photograph.
And the photograph is the photon dust being captured by pixies.
I think Demo would love. I think Demog would love astronomy because telescopes are sometimes called like buckets for photons or whatever, photon buckets, because they collect more photons than the human eye.
Yeah, so these a single photon, there is no wave function collapse, right? And so you're seeing a photograph. These are many different photons, and they aren't collapsing, hence why you're seeing them. What do you think about that?
I've once seen somebody collapse at a function, but they weren't
What if
waves.
I just run really far? Will I fall off the earth?
If you, I don't know.
I think
with cold
so.
weather.
I think so. Wait, what the? Like, no, because if
Well,
I
haven't you
run
ever
really
heard of
fast, really far,
411? Haven't you ever
I run across
heard
the
of
Bering
411?
Strait, will
If you
I
go
go
off the
Russia, or
grid
will I end up in
too
space?
far, no one will ever find you.
No one will ever find me. Wait, so are you just saying the Earth is like the
If you go off the grid too far, no one will ever find you. So
the
you
grid?
should tell
You
your
mean
loved
no? I
ones
mean
where
flat
you're
Earth.
going,
I mean
so we
like
can make sure that we sort of
I
have
run
some
so
sort
far.
of calculation of where you're going to be at. And if you don't want to do that, then, you're
Ready
just
up in
succumbing
Bering
to
Strait?
nature.
And I'm what?
You would succumb to nature. Haven't you ever heard of
Yeah,
411?
yeah.
Come in my
411.
ass.
Wait, but isn't this flat Earth, or am I just tweaking?
You're tweaking.
Yeah, it's
Little
definitely
tweaker.
flat Earth. It's definitely local flat Earth. Like the globe and UFOs aren't going to come and save you if you're lost in the wilderness.
Please.
He's
Let's just put it
gone. He's
that way.
too far gone. He
No,
identifies as a
eggshell.
Catholic.
No, eggshell. That you're actually setting him up for failure. Like, tell him what I'm
Yeah, I
telling
hope
him is
so.
true. It's like, hey, you need to make sure you have an avenue of like reaching back to humanity if you want to go out there in the bush.
I love that you think you make sense. It
You
is.
Well,
don't really make sense.
eggshell.
Flat Earth
You make
doesn't make
sense.
sense to me.
You make sense.
I do usually.
And he was just acting like he's gonna run out there like commit suicide, and it's like,
I didn't
well,
hear him say that. I was curious to hear from
know
him.
what you're gonna
No, I'm not
do.
going to commit suicide. I never mentioned suicide. I mentioned running off the Earth.
No one's going to talk about
That's
self-harm.
Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
that's true.
Well, it was just
Maybe-
he was just talking about like sending himself off the cliff, and
Maybe
I
a
was
big
like,
glass of
eggshell
water.
may have some more pertinent value.
Hold on, I missed that. Did someone talk about self-harm?
Yeah, that was old mate break.
No, not me. But I
He
was
said
telling him
running
he
off the disc, and you
shouldn't
said
perceive that. No,
So
because he
who
was
talked
saying
about-
just F it. I'm just gonna go off into the wilderness.
Okay, who said that?
And I was like, you good. Boom. And that's what I try to impose to these globetards. It's like we can just climb a building right here. Right here. Like and you would have a very good feeling about it when you did it. You have to have this positivity. You have this negativity. What do you eggshells? What do you think the globe is all of a sudden gonna turn out like concave for you?
I think you're annihilated, drunk, and not making any fucking sense as per usual.
Oh my god, really? Like, that's kind of absurd that you would just put that on me. And it's like, you may halfway be true, but that doesn't make for the whole true.
Well,
come on. Come on, man. Just be real, dude.
look, I'm sure you're a
what I
nice
said
guy,
was
but
true.
people repeatedly tell you this, mate. You're a fucking ball when you're pissed, and you're pissed quite a bit.
Well,
So,
you're actually
I don't know
one
what
of
to
my
tell you.
best. You're actually one of my best friends. So
Yeah, I think I probably wouldn't mind you if you weren't hammered, but you don't make any fucking sense when you're hammered. So I don't know what
I
you're
love
like.
that
Really.
so much. I love that so much, and I thank you. Like, that is the funny part, is that opposition is true friendship.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes I think it's worth
If I
opposing
was just
people only
here
if you care about
giving
them.
you, you're like, hey, yeah, you're doing okay, wing job. Like, would you actually build and be able to do anything better? But it's like, here I am, being a little bit controversial to what you're saying, and maybe, and it's like, in these slight little ways, and it slightly, this is the opposition that you crave. You know you crave it. You crave the opposition.
Oh, we all do. We all come here for the debates.
Don't we? Don't we all? That's why I love you, Humpty Dumpty. You're an old friend, and I respect you. And you were one of the true friends.
Thanks, man. So, any balltards got any proof?
I think you're that guy. You're the one. What do you got? Come on, man.
Say again?
Come on, man. Be honest. Be honest a little bit.
I don't understand the question. Is the issue?
Well, it's your question, so you didn't understand your own question?
Probably.
Well, then I guess I didn't understand it.
All right.
So what kind of conclusion are we going to derive if nobody knows the question?
Well, as we know, Earth is flat and the south is the center.
Ooh, you're getting spicy. Earth is flat.
And the south is the center.
Okay, so we have maps that we use. Like, is that, like, so wrong?
No, I think it's fine. Just need to understand that the maps have been derived from a globe, but the real truth is that everything circles around the center.
Derived by a globe. Yeah, exactly. Let's believe that. Did you know that Did you know that the globe is a flat Earth map?
Cool. So let's see how that works.
Yeah, we're gonna use
with the south as the center, or the north as the center.
Yeah, we're gonna use the angle measurements, and we're gonna drive it flat, and it's gonna be flat. Like, I don't. When do you think it's not flat? Like, because you're an Australian,
flat all the way to the northern edge.
I get why you have this. Like, I mean, and I feel for you because you're like the true like slave race. You are at the bottom of the globe. You have a whole continent, and you're having to come up with a whole conspiracy of contingents that, gives you some sort of a reason for being. And I think that's a very powerful thing. So what do you got? What do you got for us? You must have worked out something. You must have worked out something.
Definitely. Well, once I couldn't prove that the Earth was
you must have worked out something because...
It's flat.
Okay. Well, I worked
and then the question is,